Our speaker has been a member of Toastmasters for the past 38 years. He has held many clubhouse roles from president to sergeant at arms. He has held the positions of area governor and received the Outstanding Area Governor Award in District 47. The following year, he was given the Outstanding Division Governor Award as the Division Governor for the Southern Division, District 47. During his time in Toastmasters, he has participated and won many speech contests in both humorous and tabletop competitions. He has served as contest master for the area, division, and district speech contests, and he served in more contests than he can count. He has been in business as a general contractor for the past 38 years, has started and operated a Chamber of Commerce and networking organization for 25 years. And he will present us today, Where Do I Go From Here? So Division D, everyone, all Toastmasters and guests, please get up on your feet, get up on your feet, get up on your feet, and please welcome distinguished Toastmaster, David Esposito.
Welcome, Toastmasters! I'm feeling a little bit overdressed, so if you will indulge me for 1 second, I'm going to change into something a little more comfortable. There, I feel a lot better now. My first memory of watching public speakers was when I was a kid and I wanted to convince my parents that I shouldn't have to go to church on Sunday. I could sit home and watch these guys on TV rant and rave, holler and yell, and motivate an audience to do everything. Now, my parents thought I was a heathen back in those days. So if anyone has an iPhone, took a picture of me in that robe, please send it to me because I want to get it to my parents to let them know how far I've come. I'm a lot more religious than I used to be. I've been in Toastmasters 38 years, and I know why I joined Toastmasters. And that was to meet women. How many first-timers do we have here at a TLI session? Stand up. First-timers, stand up. Okay, give these people a round of applause. And when I say a number that represents the number of years you've been in Toastmasters, raise your hand. If you've been in Toastmasters more than 3 years, put up your hand and leave it there. If you've been in Toastmasters more than 5 years, put your hand up. If you've been in Toastmasters more than 10 years, put it up. How about 20? 25? Do I hear 30? Do I hear 35? All right, so I've been here the longest, 38 years, and I'm only 40. Back then, Toastmasters had this program. If you start kids out as infants, they'll probably want to continue doing it for the rest of their life. And it seems to be working because, for some reason, I've got the bug. I don't want to leave. I still want to stay here. And why do I want to stay here? I know why I came here. And I wasn't joking. I just got divorced last year. I have to stay in Toastmasters. That's not funny. One of you could be my future ex-wife. Don't laugh. One of you could get a house and a car out of this. I've been bringing my kids to Toastmasters for years. Why? Because I believe so strongly in the program. And one of the most important skills that you can give any child is the skill of communication. Good communication skills. But where do you go from here? Especially you new Toastmasters who just started. Where do you go from here? This is not Dale Carnegie. We are not going to teach you in 6 weeks how to be a world-class public speaker. Get that thought out of your head. And some of you won't be here next year. Why? Because you'll have come here for one of the wrong reasons. You might have come here because I just need to work on a presentation for work. Once I give that presentation, I'm not going to do this. This is hard work. But besides hard work, this is fun. A few years back, the district saying was, if it ain't fun, it isn't Toastmasters. And that's true. But Toastmasters is more than just fun. It's also a lifelong commitment you made to yourself. You made to yourself a commitment to improve your communication skills. And what did you do? You joined Toastmasters. Now, some of you were definitely afraid. The number one fear of man or woman is stand up and give a speech. Some of you joined because you weren't deathly afraid to be a speaker and get up before a group of people, but you wanted to improve those communication skills. And so you joined. And now, some of you have the bug, and you can't get enough of Toastmasters. You're like a Toastmaster junkie. And that's what I am. I'm a Toastmaster junkie, and my drug of choice is laughter. If you laugh at what I say, I feel like I walk out of here with a high. All the motivational presentations, all the motivational speakers, that's great. And I'm only going to learn so much sitting in the chairs like you are. And Darren LaCroix, one of the world champion public speakers, always says, stage time, stage time, stage time. If you're not up here and you spend your time sitting there, how much do you think you're going to learn? This organization is not about osmosis. You're not going to absorb everything you need to be to a public speaker. You need somebody to tell you what you just presented was great, was not so great, could use some improvement. And here's how to do it. And that's just what we do. In a fun, friendly, family-oriented environment. Toastmaster people are like family. I have friends in Toastmasters that I met 38 years ago that are still my friends today. And some of them are still in Toastmasters. A lot of them have come and gone. And some of them I'm still friends with. But whatever the reason you join Toastmasters, you need to learn that this organization, you will not only learn by what you take from this organization, but you need to learn what you need to give back to this organization. You're in Toastmasters for a year. Guess what? You can mentor a brand new Toastmaster. You've been in Toastmasters 5 years. You can mentor Toastmasters that have been in this organization 2 or 3 years. Give back to those people. Encourage people. Motivate people. But more importantly, motivate yourself to stay. Make this a commitment of personal development to yourself. When I joined for a lot of different reasons. I was never afraid to stand before a crowd of people. But I did want to improve my communication skills. Now I just use it to meet women in bars. And I got divorced a year ago. And a lot of people, they feel sad when they hear that, but don't feel sad, because just like any marriage, it takes two people to get together and make a marriage. And it takes two people to get a divorce. My wife and her boyfriend. And I did everything humanly possible to keep that relationship alive. I watched so many episodes of Dr. Ruth, I knew how to fake foreplay. It was great. I even read that book, Men Are From Mars, that's right, Men Are From Mars, Women Are Just Crazy. That's one of the ones that I would like. I mean, I read so much about PMS, I think I have it now. But I need to be able to communicate in many facets of my life. I'm a general contractor. And how does a general contractor need good communication skills? Let's start with getting business. 25 years ago, I was fortunate enough to meet someone that was president of a condominium association. Right, one of the condo commandos. Probably have a few in here. And the condo commandos, they're always doing work and they're always looking for someone to do that work. Well, this particular woman, after she left being president of her association, she said, I didn't get paid for doing it in my condo, but I'm going to start getting paid. And she started accumulating other condominiums in South Florida. Today, I have somewhere between 35 and 40 condo associations I do work. And they're always asking for estimates. And like every contractor, they come in, they give a presentation of a few words, or they come in and they give an estimate and don't even show up. I don't give an estimate that I don't make a presentation to a condo board. I will get 9 out of 10 jobs. Because when I speak to them so they understand what I'm saying. When I speak to them, I make sure I answer all their questions, they feel confident in me, and I make a good presentation. I go there, I have clean socks, underwear, the whole bit when I go there. This is important. Just like we ask you, when you're a speaker of the evening, to dress for the part. You only get one chance to make a first impression. That first impression is important. And that impression lasts. If you look the part, if you speak the part, and you act the part, people will think that you know what you're talking about. And that works. Because when I make a presentation, and there is a room full of contractors, and we all get our opportunities, I guarantee you, none of them are going to be Toastmasters. None of them are going to take the time to work on a presentation. None of them are going to give the people the opportunity to see that they can depend on me, rely on me, and they come back to me. Why? Because I communicated my thoughts, my ideas, and what I was going to do for them. I was you-oriented, not me-oriented. What am I going to do for you? That's why I want you to hire me. So that's important for you. When you go out on a job interview, what's the best thing in Toastmasters that prepares you for a job interview? Table topics. You don't know what they're going to ask you in advance. You do not know what questions you are going to field. You also may not know how many people are going to be in the room throwing questions at you, looking for your reactions, looking for the things that you need to say. And where do you get that preparation? Here. As I look around the room, the median age of this room is middle age. And I look at the number of people here. Where are all the 20-year-olds? Where are all the 18-year-olds? Thank you. I want your number later. What I want is to see that we are the spokespeople for Toastmasters, that we encourage students, young men and women, right out of high school to start. This is the best gift you can give them. You got kids, you have grandkids, pay their first year of Toastmasters dues. Give them that gift. That gift is worth more than most of the education they'll get. Most of the education, when they graduate, they have a degree, and they're not trained to do anything. They can't find jobs. But with communication skills, if they were in Toastmasters, for the same 4 years they were in colleges and universities, they would be walking out of there heads above all the other students. I have a 17-year-old stepson that I've been bringing to Toastmasters since he was 8 years old. If you look at his mom and his dad, he's nothing like them. He's a mini-me. I've taken him to Toastmasters, I've taught him things. We started the DJ business together. I used to do all the microphone work. He did the computers because I'm an antique. I don't know how to do anything but put 45 records on a record player. But he knew the computers. But as time went on, the more events we did together, the more performances we did together, he got better at it. For my high performance leadership project, I did a TV show at the Beacon channel, which is in Broward County, and it's run by the Broward County school system. And what it was to do a demonstration Toastmasters meeting to be broadcast throughout the school system to teach students how important communication skills are. The only difference is all the speakers were students, middle school and high school students. And although my stepson goes to school in St. Lucie County, not in Broward, I brought him down and I said, "You're going in this." And he prepared a speech. The only one that came with a jacket and a tie. The only one that had note cards. The only one that was prepared to give a presentation. I didn't vote. All Toastmasters voted. He won. I was never prouder. He and I have done a lot of crazy stunts, even worse than coming in as an evangelist. And he enjoys that. And I want to keep him going. I have a 4-year-old daughter. She's been going to Toastmasters since she's 2 weeks old. She's 4 now. When I get up to speak, she goes to the lectern, she grabs the gavel and starts pounding on it. I'm pulling on me. "Daddy, tell them about me. Daddy, tell them about me." I know she will be a Toastmaster. I will make sure about it. If Alzheimer's does not set in, then I know for sure that will happen. But what can you do? You can go out and you can speak as a Toastmaster spokesperson at schools, colleges, vocational schools. Vocational schools have higher enrollment today than any college and university because people are getting away from that. They want to learn a career, not necessarily go to college. It's less money, it takes less time, they're doing it. My ex-wife, the Wicked Witch of the North, she graduated from this college. She was a nurse. And the program did not require 4 years of college, subjects they didn't want, but they never taught communication skills. Nurses are talking with doctors, nurses are talking with patients, nurses are talking to many different people in a hospital, but they don't have good communication skills. I sat through a graduation here. It was grueling, to say the least. The speakers, even the instructors. So if you're a teacher, if you're a student, whatever the case may be, the best education you can have is communication skills. The most important person to help you is yourself. We can only give you the tools, but unless you take that time to do it, you're not going to do it. So go from here. Stay in Toastmasters. Don't drop out because you think you've learned all that you can learn in Toastmasters. I've been here 38 years. Every time I come here, I learn a little bit more. And before I leave, I would like to leave you with this one last thought. For those of you who are single and you have a significant other, give a long, hard look at that significant other and say to yourself, is this the person I want my children to spend every other weekend with? And finally, I'll leave you with this last thought. Don't ever speak to an old person and ask them how they're feeling unless you have the rest of the day to waste. And finally, I'll leave you with this last thought. Stupidity is not a handicap. Find somewhere else to park.